Welcome back to This Day. Joining me right now is Ame Roberts. Hopefully I said your name correctly this time. I'm sorry for butchering it. And you have some updates with the Age Well Senior Center. And so what's your favorite thing about working at the Senior Center?
The people.
Yeah.
Hands down the people. It's just a really, really great group. The people that come into the center, the people that we help, that we outsource to, and also all the people that work there. We have a really awesome team, and they're all really invested in what we're doing, so it's just a joy.
That's awesome. You were saying a moment ago you have an anniversary coming up. You'll be there 2 years tomorrow.
Yes.
Congratulations.
If everything goes well.
Yeah, they're going to fire you after this interview. But you said one of the things that you love or that you were nervous about was very first, talking to people when you started there. And tell me about that, how that has gone.
Well, what I realized is that people have a lot of things to say, and this age group is very, very comfortable with sharing. And I love that because that's part of the reason that I love working with older adults. And so I realized quickly that I didn't need to prepare a lot to talk to people individually or get nervous about it, because a few questions, and I really am coming from the heart, people know that, and they are very, very willing to share. So they're off to the races.
Yeah, and everybody has such great stories. I mean, I remember with my kids, with my dad, he has passed now, but they'd be like, oh, Papa's telling me that same story again. I'm like, but it's your job to listen again, because, that's his life legacy and things, that if they don't tell those stories, like, how are we going to know, what their life was like maybe before us kids were around or whatever.
Yes, yes.
So you have some fun stuff coming up this summer. First off, the Summer Bingo Bash. What is it about bingo that is so fun?
So this is not, I would say, your grandmother's bingo, except maybe it is, depending how old you are. But this is not your 5 dots across bingo. This is a much more complicated bingo. Each game that you play, there's a pattern that you are playing, and it can be like 9 to 15 squares. So it's actually like a lot more complicated, and you're running the minimum of 6 games at a time. So this bingo bash is very cool because it is our summer fundraiser. It is with a catered dinner, 2 drink tickets. There are 12 games, and each of those games, for the price of the ticket, you get 6 sheets. So you're playing 6 games per game.
That is, yes, that was one of the questions I was going to ask. Wait, 12 games, 6 cards each. I was like, wait a minute, I'm confused.
Right, yeah. So it's a lot of games. You can buy extra cards if you want to, but you certainly don't need to. And the really cool part is each game pays out $100 per game.
Oh,
so
wow.
if you're a winner, you're walking away with $100.
So I get it. It's gambling now.
Technically, it is gambling. Yes, we had to pull a permit with the state of California to be able to do this.
Oh my gosh! Wow, yeah,
Yes.
I had no idea all the things that go into the background of it. And it's a fundraiser for the Senior Center.
That's right. So Age Well is a nonprofit, and it's Age Well's Florence Sylvester Senior Center. So this raises funds for all of the things that we do, everything from Meals on Wheels to care management to transportation to all the activities that we offer. This just helps support all of that.
So other than doing a fundraiser like this, how else is Age Well supported?
So we have a couple fundraisers throughout the year. A few of our programs we get, depending on which ones they are, get small amounts of, like for example, our Meals on Wheels, there's a very small amount that comes per person from government. But the majority of our funding comes from our community partners and individuals that are donors. So we are a 501c3 nonprofit, which is really important for people to know, because a lot of people think that we are run by the city or we get all of this. I don't know where they think our funding comes from. But with Age Well, it is all South Orange County. So everything that people donate that can reduce their tax liability, it comes right back into their own neighborhood. So at Florence Sylvester, we are, depending on the program that we're talking about, we're serving over 75% of what we do comes back into Laguna Woods Village.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So it really is helping your neighbor. It's not being shipped out. It's not going to San Diego. It's not going to the East Coast. It's really right here in South Orange County.
Oh, that's awesome. I'd love to help out local and be right there in your own neighborhood. That's perfect. And so just to reiterate, Summer Bingo Bash coming up July 8th.
Yes.
Doors open at 3 o'clock, and then but the bingo begins at 4 o'clock.
Yes.
And one of the other great things about it is it also includes a meal.
Yes, it's a catered meal.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
And so $45 tickets in advance or $55 at the door. You can go to the myagewell.org website or call the number on the screen to be included in that event. That sounds like a lot of fun. And then one of the other events you have coming up is chair yoga. Tell us about that.
That's right. So this is a yoga class that is not with Emeritus. So usually we do yoga with Emeritus. This is Jill Camera. She's a resident in the village, and she is starting a chair yoga class. Now you don't have to be in your chair, but the idea is that it's not an intimidating, a really intensely physical yoga to start off with. It's accessible to everyone. So no matter where you are physically, this should be something that helps with your flexibility, mobility, your joints, concentration, and the really cool thing is you're getting a professional yoga class instructor for $2 contribution per class. So
yeah,
you can't really beat that.
Right. That's the best, least expensive exercise thing around.
Seriously, it really is.
What are the types of benefits that yoga gives you?
So one of the biggest ones that people think of first is flexibility, which I think everyone could use a little bit more of. There's strengthening, there's balance, there's mobility. A lot of people say that it reduces their stress levels, increases focus, concentration. And there's a whole breathing pattern that also goes along with yoga, and so it becomes eventually a moving meditation. Is the idea. So it's just a really, really healthy practice.
Yeah, that's one. So I know probably a funny question to ask is, but what do you wear to a yoga, to this type of a thing?
You wear something extremely comfortable. So whatever that is for you, it can be, your joggers and a t-shirt, whatever it is, just make sure that you're bendable and you feel comfortable, getting in all kinds of positions. And everybody's doing it. So, in the class, so you needn't feel, insecure or kind of weird. Just wear whatever feels good on you.
Yeah, I love that it doesn't have to be a particular yoga pants or, you're not yogis where you're going to be standing on your head or something.
Right. If they are, I hope someone comes and gets me because I'll be super impressed.
I love how it can be for beginners. It can be if you, are more advanced into it. I love how it can just, take you from where you are to be able to still enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that is coming up. That is on what days and times again?
That starts next Thursday, and it just runs, it's every Thursday then. I believe it's at 10:30
a.m.
or 10 a.m.
Yeah,
That's
Thursdays
right.
at 10 a.m. beginning July 6th.
Yeah, so do yoga.
So can they call like the morning of, or do they need to reserve it at least a day before, or?
For the yoga class, we prefer if you reserve a seat, but you don't have to. And that just helps us set the room up and be prepared for the size of the class.
Okay.
Yeah.
And another event you're having is the individual memory testing coming up on the third Wednesdays of the month. Tell us about that.
So we have done this before. It's been very, very popular. I believe that the session is 20 to 25 minutes. And you're basically run through rigorous memory testing, and it's with Irvine Clinical Research and Memorial Care. And again, on this one, you do have to call and sign up because it is an individualized appointment.
Okay,
Yeah.
Great. And so what are the benefits for doing the memory testing now? Say you're like, I feel great, I'm totally cognitively there. Like, why do this now?
Well, it just depends on where you are, right? Maybe you're just curious, and maybe some things are detected that need to be followed up on. There are lots of things that you can do to either slow down memory loss or stop it. There are some types, for example, of dementia that can actually be reversed. There are some that can't, but there's all kinds of new research and new treatments, and the sooner that you can identify any issues with memory, the more likely the possibility that you'll be able to treat whatever's going on.
And the same with any disease that's happening, right?
That's right.
The sooner you find it. And does this cost at all to do this?
No, it's absolutely free. You just need to make a reservation.
Okay. Yes. All right. Well, definitely give them a call at 949-380-0155 in order to book your appointment. And that's the third Wednesdays of every month. Yep. And then that brings us to our last event that we have here today, invited to age-related macular degeneration talk with Dr. Mehta. Mm-hmm. Tell me about this event.
So Dr. Mehta is with UCI Health. This is the first time that we've worked closely with UCI Health. And he is one of the premier researchers and doctors when it comes to age-related macular degeneration. So he's going to talk about signs that something is happening with your eyes, and this could be a possibility. And he's going to also talk about all the latest treatments and things that you can do just to facilitate better eye health.
That's great. Yeah, it sounds like very informative, and it's only an hour long. So not too time consuming, and I'm sure some great information to have. I know definitely my eyes are changing as I get older, so
Such
can
a
I
bummer.
go?
I know.
I don't live here in the village, but can I go? Well,
you absolutely can.
Well, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. And stay with us because we will be back with more of This Day. It is Wednesday. We have movies coming up and announcements.